And it just happened. The Nintendo Direct that focused on Super Mario Bros. Wonder, the 15-minute showcase showing off more details on the game, and just going into the Direct, that alone was already pretty telling. 2D Mario games never get big showings like their own standalone Direct. They usually just get one or two trailers, they come out and that's usually the end of it, the only exceptions being the Mario Maker duology, but Nintendo giving Wonder a prop to stand on, like they give 3D Mario or Mario Kart, really signified this 2D Mario was a much bigger deal than you'd expect. And even from the initial reveal 2 months back, that was already apparent just from how the game looked. All the new gimmicks and ideas and mechanics on display, the Wonder Flower, the elephant power-up, the Kirby-esque art style, the ideas behind the level themes. It was a new 2D Mario finally breaking away from what 2D Mario is in the best way possible. So to wait 2 months after that trailer, only for Nintendo to go, but wait, there's more! And that Direct 10,000% showed there was indeed more, and honest to God, I'm willing to buy even this early in the game, less than 2 months before it comes out, that Super Mario Bros. Wonder could very well be the best 2D Mario in the entire series so far. And at least as far as traditional 2D Marios go, I think there's a decent chunk of people that could very well feel the same. Super Mario Bros. Wonder is a game 2D Mario needed in such a long time. I've already expressed such in a discussion video 2 months back that popped off pretty hard, so thank you very much for all the support there. But it was doing genuinely new things people wanted 2D Mario to do for decades. And the fact there's double what we got the first time around is mind-boggling, trying to let all the details and information simmer in my head. Let's talk about the Wonder Flower to start things off, because I mentioned how this thing is probably the best mechanic in the game thus far, and I still think that's true. It legit changes levels, the level design, enemies, bosses, mechanics, it transforms you, etc. But the wildest thing is, for as creative and bonkers as the Wonder Flower is, they're not even completely relying off of it. It could just be my new Super Mario Bros. Experience talking in that the main pull for all the new Soup games, it was strictly just the power-ups. Yeah, you have new level designs and some enemies here and there, but one game focused on coins being the main draw, and all the other ones focused a lot more on the power-ups and such. But Wonder not only has the Wonder Flower going for it so heavily, it also introduces several new ideas and mechanics altogether on top of the creative levels on display that I really do think Wonder has what it takes at this point to become the staple 2D Mario of the sub-series, and it could become the template for 2D Mario going forward. They have multiple power-ups beyond the Elephant and Fire Flower. There are at least 4 different collectibles to go after in this game. The level theme variety, the multiplayer, the badge system, upgrades in a 2D Mario game. The amount of creativity and versatility on display with and without the Wonder Flower truly speaks to how incredible this new 2D Mario looks. And it's exactly because of what I basically said in the first discussion video, but especially what I said in last night's predictions, because they basically say it in this Direct. Expect the unexpected. We're going all in on making this 2D Mario the weirdest it's ever been by a wide margin. We got a myriad of playable characters on display. Expectations are completely blank the minute you approach a Wonder Flower, because so much can happen from touching it that you don't know what effect will take place. All these crazy locales between plains mixed with mountains that transition into autumn locales, these metallic yellow waterfall areas, snowy mountains that extend into vast pink clouds up above, this archipelago with some islands being sweets themed, this uncanny artistic mushroom forest that looks so colorful and off-putting, meshing past themes in this creative way while also giving us entirely new themes and worlds to explore. The amount of levels is insane just going off World 1, whether or not you factor the challenge courses. Speaking of, there are challenge levels, power-ups you wouldn't expect like the elephant, the drill, and bubble power-ups. We got talking flowers throughout each level giving hints and quips. You get to upgrade your character with badges a lot like the early Paper Mario games. A lot of the upgrades are very unique and creative ways of adding so much depth and customization to your platforming and overall play. There are linear paths going from level to level, but worlds have open areas where you can choose amongst multiple levels to pick from however you want, similar to Mario 64. You can buy upgrades and items in a shop for once in a 2D Mario. You can collect standees to help save yourself from tough platforming, if not as one of the game's collectibles like 3D World stamps. Some standees reviving you with specific power-ups as well. You could play online, but you can also play with people in this subtle, non-direct way that doesn't hamper the connection. You can race ghosts of multiple players when you're connected online, a sort of stock battle royale, the closest thing to Mario 35 getting revived. It's this cacophony of all these ingredients that genuinely make Wonder feel like the most ambitious 2D Mario, with hardly many games stacking up with all it's got. It's insane. The days of the still good but bland and uninspired new Super Mario Bros. Is over, man. Legit, I have never been this excited for a 2D Mario in my life. It's everything I've expressed in the first discussion video and even more. That Wonder Flower, man, that's still the most exciting thing about this game, and I'm itching to see the ceiling for this thing. They come in different colors. The effects can range from the levels tilting, you free falling, bubbles infesting the level's perspective shifts so you can platform and run on the background, the pseudo almost 3D Mario Galaxy-like gravitational effect basically, floating through space, transforming into a Goomba, a spike ball, or a pot. I asked whether Mario can fly or not with one of the effects. He can by inflating into a balloon, like the P-Balloon for Mario World or Mario's Flower Power for Mario 64. The level can increase in size and make you seem small. What are the limits on this thing? There's so much creativity and even replayability because the levels get all wacky and wild with the flowers in use. But I also want to know just what about the levels normally, because a lot of level design is already pretty good anyways without it too. And some of these effects are going to be so out there and bizarre that it's likely to be more memorable than any Soul level all on its own. I can't wait to see more of what the flower has in store. Same exact case for the level themes. Dude, I just love they're fleshing out the base concepts of the world themes and are doing more with that alongside combining themes together. We have a grassy plains world, but what if we make it heavily flower themed and more blue? What if we throw a forest in there, make the setting in another level of the plains sunset, and have the leaves parallel the fall season? What if we make our snow world transition into the cloud world, but cover our clouds in this pure pink? What if one of our islands on the archipelago is stuffed with donuts, cookies, and whatnot? What if we theme our islands and architecture around waves and more summery imagery than just making it a standard beach? We have an athletic mushroom level, but it's themed around pumpkins. It takes the themes we're used to, but genuinely spinning them in a fun, creative, and artistic way. Not only that, but completely brand new ideas altogether. There's one world with all these metallic boxes making it up, and it's filled with these yellow waterfalls with these diagonal artistic diamonds in the water, background, and platforms and such. This mushroom-ridden forest with this almost toxic-like green imagery, almost spooky and radioactive. Some levels with this green, jelly-like substance to swim and move around in. Like, these two worlds in particular are entirely new themes for worlds and levels. It's awesome. And every level has that specific extra trait shown in the background the more you progress, signifying the next stage you're going to. There's a level of thematic cohesion and unison that low-key is only rivaled by Super Mario Sunshine, and I am dead serious. The world feels more interconnected than Super Mario World and New Super Mario Bros. U did, and that's saying something. Forget it's all a massive interconnected map like those two games. On top of that, I predicted level progression would function exactly like Mario 3D World, with the green stars unlocking later levels. I was basically right. There will be some linear paths you have to follow, but those paths lead to open areas filled with multiple levels to choose from, some unlocked with the right number of Wonder Seeds, just like green stars. Glad I got that one right, but that allows for more diversity in selecting how you progress through the game. Not to the same length as Mario 64, but surprisingly more than Super Mario 3D World. And funnily enough, Wonder's taking a lot of cues from 3D World than I expected, mainly with that whole biz, but also to be able to select a previous level via a list automatically, so fast travel almost, online play, etc. Like most suspected, there's online play. You can play directly with friends in a room, but you can also just connect online and see others play in real time. You can also race their ghosts in levels too. That's low-key a mock Mario 35 revival right there. You're literally playing a Mario Battle Royale where you race their ghosts. That's awesome. You can send people items or revive them if their ghost is flying around if you're quick enough. Your actions nab heart points, unsure the value in those points, but it's whatever. And yeah, while there is that direct online connectivity in place, I don't think most people expected this sort of streaming-like structure of watching others move around, but you borderline can't interact with them directly, and I think that's probably the best way they could have went about doing online for a 2D Mario beyond just playing with friends in a room. Same goes for the ghost mechanic, where if you die with more than one player present, others can touch your ghost to revive you in 5 seconds or less. It's not the same as a bubble from the new Soup games, which does lose some of its charm and trolling, but that trolling being significantly hampered, as well as being able to keep and not lose your current life then, is a pretty good cooperative idea in place. It might make co-op a little too easy, fair, especially if you have online enabled, but that co-op element is basically more prevalent now than ever. And since I'm talking multiple people, let's talk the character roster. Some stated 10 or more feels like too much. We got 12 characters. Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, Blue and Yellow Toad, Green, Red, Yellow, and Light Blue Yoshi, and the new characters Toadette and Nabbit. Toadette is one of the characters I did predict last night. She was in Mario Run and in New Soup U Deluxe. Plus, she's in a lot of recent Mario games this generation, so it'd feel weird to not have her here if she wasn't. And I do feel kind of stupid I didn't see Nabbit coming. He's basically the poster boy of New Super Mario Bros. U, and people love this character. He's got a good design and motif. Him being the baby character makes sense too, since he was in New Soup U. I do think it's kind of criminal the Yoshis are baby characters too. They can flutter jump, eat enemies, and eat and spit back out objects. Do they really need to be invincible to enemies on top of that when they weren't prior? I don't know, it's not a huge deal. It's not a big deal in the grand scheme, but I wouldn't make Yoshi the baby character when his flutter jump alone borderline classifies him as such anyways. Forget the swallow and spit up abilities. I know their drawback is likely they can't use any power-ups at all, but still. Otherwise, yeah. 12 characters and essentially all the main ones as far as 2D Marios go. Pretty good roster. And you still gotta adore the animations and expressions they're giving. The opening cutscene where Bowser rages, Daisy helps Toadette from falling, and Yellow Toad is protecting Peach. The characters' reactions throughout the whole thing, conveying their personalities proper. Characters during the gameplay, when they transform, when they jump, perform any power-ups, get hit, zapped, etc. I feel like I'm watching a cartoon the entire time. The most vigorous and charismatic 2D Mario has ever looked, and it's not even close. So damn adorable, dude. Story-wise, that's another thing I basically got right. It's more than Bowser kidnapping Peach because he's the bad guy and he likes her, and Mario saves her because he likes her. But it's about like one notch above that. That extra notch is basically what I was expecting. Mario and his friends are invited to the Flower Kingdom by Prince Florian, but Bowser wants to cause trouble. He touches a Wonder Flower and fuses with the castle in the background, and he literally turns into a floating castle to cause trouble. So that's something. Bowser being a castle, something I wouldn't suspect at all. Bowser Jr. and Kamek are there. You save Poplins from clearing courses. New characters in general, it's pretty cool. But I didn't think the story would get any more layered than something like that, so most expectations all around are being met. They did not touch on the voice actor stuff with Charles, Miyamoto, and whatnot, so very likely that's getting its own video in the near future instead. I didn't talk too much about this, I kind of skimmed it the first time, but the talking flowers are going to be these dialogue spewing characters throughout the whole game. I'm well aware for some, this is kind of a mild annoyance. Some just do not want to hear other characters audibly speak hearable dialogue in the midst of playing a game, especially platformers. That could distract from the current moment, which is fair. It's a thing some people have, they just don't like. Me though, I think this is very welcome. Plenty of the quips the flowers give, I either genuinely smirked or chuckled a little. I think a lot of people are going to get a kick out of the flowers in this game when they talk. That and plenty still are going to absolutely hate these guys. But it is another thing Mario as a whole doesn't really do. Audible dialogue throughout the game where even just one character speaks coherent sentences. Sunshine was the closest in that regard, but yeah, a weird change, but one I personally welcome. You got some neat new enemies like melon piranha plants that spit out watermelon seeds, hoppy cats where it's these small enemies that mimic your jump, con darts, these dart birds, mumsies, mummy-like characters. It does feel like we're out of the Mushroom Kingdom, but even the familiar ones like Goombas, Koopa Troopas, and Boos have charismatic designs like the main characters. I love how all three of them flat out look like either their Paper Mario Thousand Year Door counterparts, or even their Mario 3 or Mario World counterparts. They look awesome. Same goes for the power-ups. I guess it was a little bit too much to suspect every character would get unique animal powers, but everybody gets the elephant. They look wild and funny as hell. Peach, Luigi, Daisy, Toad, and Toadette. I don't know about the girls being flesh-colored, but I could get behind the power-up either way. I'm used to it by this point. The one thing that threw me off, though, I always assumed the elephant power-up made it so you can't jump, because they're so heavy. So seeing Elephant Mario jump ever so slightly, really high, so easily like a paperweight, that threw me off more than Elephant Peach and Daisy. They can dash, cross large gaps while running, you throw their trunk to destroy blocks, enemies, launch projectiles back at certain enemies, you cover a bigger radius with your hitbox and your jump, so you could destroy more blocks than Mario would normally. You can carry water in your trunk and spray enemies, objects, and flora for items, secret paths, and coins as well. That's pretty cool. And new power-ups with the Bubble Flower and the Drill. I love the pink and purple color schemes for the Bubble Power, but it functions basically like the Baby Blue Yoshi from New Soup U. You can blow bubbles, trap enemies, turn them into coins, and even use empty bubbles or captured enemies in the bubbles as spare platforms. That last one is a straight buff. Bubble Mario is probably going to be the best power-up just from that alone. I'm excited for 2D Mario to get its own equivalent of Cappy being a platform. Drill form also reminds me of the Drill from Super Mario Galaxy 2, but that also got buffed. It covers your head from hard objects and spiky enemies. You can use it to drill down and burrow underground, in walls, and on the ceiling too. That's the main thing. The power-ups are much more flexible this time around than past 2D Marios, where most power-ups, not all, most of them, they were just used for a singular use in one specific instance, like the Fire Flower basically. Oh, enemy? Dead. These power-ups have like 2 or 3 uses. It's neat you get a little item bubble too, like in Mario 3D World or the handheld New Soup games, than having an inventory outside of the levels like the console New Soup entries. That little extra customization goes a long way. Oh, but we don't gotta talk about just a little customization. We have upgrades! Badges! Paper Mario? Please, where my Paper Mario fans at? You can get upgrades! Extra abilities in a 2D Mario. That is huge. That is so huge. You can acquire badges in this game. Upgrades consisting of a parachute hat letting you glide, this wall jump where you can wall jump straight up once, a dolphin kick so you could swim faster underwater and break blocks underwater, this timed jump where consecutive jumps let you jump higher. That sounds like the triple jump, so we'll have to wait and see. Crouching high jump, so basically the spring jump from the Paper Mario games, a floating high jump, a grappling vine to stick to walls a distance away and get a free wall jump out of it. Suddenly Mario Wonder and Spider-Man 2 coming out the same day makes a lot more sense. The safety bounce, which is a death-defying instant free jump, a sensor detecting items and coins, a coin magnet, an invisibility badge, the jet run where you'll always run fast but also dash midair for a bit, and even more beyond that, some including expert badges too. You could collect them from either buying them in the in-game shop or clearing these challenge courses, where that and potentially a Wonder Seed is your reward. But 2D Mario getting upgrades to your character, that is so damn cool. Even when you can select only one badge per level, there's a lot of badges to choose from with varying results in specific circumstances, so they're not only very worthwhile in giving the player way more customization and freedom in how they progress throughout the adventure, on top of the open areas where you can choose from multiple levels to pick from at once, but this also stacks to the number of collectibles the game has. You have to get Wonder Seeds, similar to 3D World's Green Stars, to nullify the Wonder Flower's effects and to unlock later levels. You collect these purple coins throughout, each level having 3 10 purple coins, like star coins. You stack up currency for the in-game shop to buy more Wonder Seeds, items, lives, badges, etc. You collect badges from the in-game shop or clearing challenge levels, and there are also over 100 standees to collect, acting as sort of a failsafe, like how in multiplayer other players touch your ghost to revive you and you don't lose your life. You place a standee not too far away to do the same, so there's a platforming strategy / difficulty element to it, but there are over 100 that also feature the other characters' power-ups, giving you what the standee is representing and still just being another collectible to fill out your collection. There are several different things you collect in the game that all serve a purpose, some feeding into one another that make this game the most exploration-heavy 2D Mario when there are so many levels to choose from on top. Even when they confirm there are only 7 worlds as opposed to the usual 8, look at the map for World 1. Specifically, there are 21 markers on this entire map for World 1 only. You have a marker for the castle and the shop, so 19 regular dots, but some are small, some are bigger. It's probably safe to assume the small dots are the challenge courses and the big ones are regular levels. It's also safe to assume this game will probably have around 80 levels or so, since that's the usual benchmark for most 2D Marios anyway. But even when the small dots are likely challenge courses, excluding those altogether and just counting the normal levels, World 1 has 15 levels. 15. That's insane. Again, safest outcome is 80-ish levels total. But even if there are 7 worlds, if there are more levels in later worlds, or even just the same number in World 1, even if there are just more than 10 levels per world, there's a solid shot this game's coming with 90 or more levels. That's not even factoring the challenge courses where it's likely some levels repeated with a specific goal in mind. On top of the creativity Super Mario Bros. Wonder is exuding, this also screams to me that Mario Wonder is likely going to be the most content-packed 2D Mario, excluding the Maker games. You have multiple collectibles to seek out, dozens as far as badges, and hundreds as far as Wonder Seeds, purple coins, and standees, the largest roster of characters 2D Mario's ever seen, a bunch of levels to choose from, challenge courses included or not, potentially the most amount of 2D levels Mario has ever seen, if the latter's the case, and if best case scenario on top of that. The power-ups are creative and have multiple utilities, the level themes and design is the most inspired and unorthodox the series has ever seen, amplified exponentially by the Wonder Flower and its mechanics and effects, and it really is serving as a genuine evolution of the 2D Mario formula. Another pillar of this new era of Mario weirdness and innovation we haven't seen in a while. I just wish we got more looks at the bosses. Bowser Jr. is the only one we still have, now we know Kamek's in the game too, but I want to know what the other bosses are. I'm willing to bet Kamek's magic's going to combine with Bowser's wonder powers in the final boss, and I'm willing to bet there's going to be a post-game world too, if not post-game levels, because every mainline Mario since New Super Wii has had some. I really hope this game passes 30 million units sold too. A little bit tricky when Mario Maker 2 underperformed Nintendo's expectations and the usual performance, and when U Deluxe sold over 16 million. But this game genuinely deserves to be the best-selling 2D Mario, if not one of, and as a cornerstone for the series from here on out. It could very well be the best 2D Mario when it comes out. It has every reason to do so with all the ideas, themes, and mechanics on display, a very visionary way of projecting Mario as a whole, and I can't wait for it to come out. Let me know your thoughts down in those comments. And you bet your bippy I'll swing back around with more Mario themed content to come, as my channel name suggests. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Always appreciate any support you guys give to my content, and stay super.
Yo, hey, 妹妹，嘿，过来呀，不，过来，哈哈哈呀，拉面，嘿，来面，白哥面，功夫，再见，呀，哈哈，拉面，上手面，谢谢。